A dream without a plan is just a wish. Right? And when you have a mission, that means you have already created your plan and you are on a mission. So you say, where are you going? Say, he's on a mission. Because he's already clear on what he wants. So he's crossed the dreaming stage and he's put his dream into a mission. For me, my barometer is the quality of a human being. Now that quality of human being could be a millionaire, billionaire, or maybe nothing here, right? But you can have an A-grade person not having much money. Money itself is not bad. Money itself can buy a lot of good things and can do a lot of good. And I know a lot of people doing a lot of good with their money. But saying that, if you use some tool, and money is just another tool, to do something bad, you don't blame the tool, you blame the person who used the tool.
Raza, why did you choose Palazzo Versace here?
This is one of the projects that we built, and this was completed around 2015. And this is one of the most prominent properties over here in Dubai.
But why did you choose a franchise?
Because when we went to, we saw the first franchise in Australia, in the Gold Coast, which was the Palazzo Versace Gold Coast. It was built really beautifully. We acquired 50% stake in that business and brought in the partners over here to build it here, because the elegance and the complete supply of household products that is available in the range of House of Versace did not exist in any other brand. From crockery to cutlery to furniture, Versace produces all household products as well. And this gives a living experience for anybody living in the Palace of Versace, which is the Palazzo Versace.
But in general, it's better for us to choose a franchise or to build our own brand?
There are certain things that people already understand and they already have expectations from. So at that point, there's no need to reinvent the wheel, but you can create your own DNA into a brand and build something that reflects your ethos and your principles and your taste.
Let's speak about mentorship, about mentoring. I am his mentor, but also he is my mentor. He is my trainer in sports, but I am his trainer in business.
Right.
What's important to be a good mentor? To inspire people. And also, you are our mentor.
That's really kind of you. And I want to thank you again for bringing me on the show again and have this interview with me, because I really do feel very close to you when you ask these questions. Very few people actually bring out the answers from me, because they are not any script that we are working on. So mentorship is really important, right? Especially people like me, the discussion we have had in the past show, I talked about my background. I did not really have the opportunity to go to fancy universities or to grow up in extremely business-like corporate environment. But it was only my mentors all throughout my life that helped me shape my life. When I needed guidance, when I needed support, when I wanted somebody's wisdom, there were a few mentors I could count on. And that really inspired me to make sure that I am available, more than even the ones who are available to me, to the next gen as I can. So mentorship, I believe, is really something very important at every stage of your life, not only for business, like you said, for fitness, for health, for emotional needs. You do need mentors in life. And mentors could be your existing friends and family as well, or somebody who you really don't know.
Who is your favorite mentor? Your father, maybe?
I have had the opportunity to have multiple mentors in different things. Of course, my father always was the one who taught me a lot. But in addition to my father, I was also quite close to some of the fathers of my close friends who I learned a lot with. And even today, I've got friends and mentors who I am very close to, who I go back to over and over again for taking guidance and direction as and when needed.
Have you ever failed as a mentor? Because sometimes I feel I fail as a mentor. For example, he has properties in Italy, but I have never succeeded in making him to change his mindset, to think as a millionaire. Have you ever failed as a mentor?
It's a way you look at it. The failure and success as a mentor is not necessarily to convert a person into a millionaire or not, but to be able to mentor the person. If you remember from our last discussion, we need to understand the difference between our problem and our responsibility. Right? Our problem are our problem. His problem are not your problems. Right? But you have a responsibility.
I feel his mind.
No, you need to, in order to be able to give better mentorship and to more people, you need to understand your responsibility, and you need to really truly understand your responsibility. But don't make other people's problem your problem, otherwise you won't be able to help them.
I think I have like a fear in doing steps too big that for me in terms of money. So even if I have sometimes good ideas, a solid business plan, let's say, I don't throw myself completely into it because I'm scared in losing the money, the money that I work very hard on it. So this is, I think, is one of my main problems. I have like, I'm going halfway and then boom, I just stop.
Do you have fear investing your time into a business?
No, the time is not no, just about the...
Just about the money.
Yes, the time when I'm into it, as in sports, I'm into it 100%.
Right. So you're saying that you're more scared to invest money into the business than your time.
Unfortunately, yes.
So you know where I'm going with that.
I'm waiting for your answer.
I really think, okay, when you're giving the training,
Yes.
what are your charges? Like, I'm not asking the dollars, but you charge on the basis of hourly training.
Yes.
Yeah. So what are you selling?
My time, definitely.
Right? So your time is actually your money,
Yes.
right? But you're more scared to give away your money than your time, which is, in my view, more valuable.
Sometimes
Right? So I think when we are putting in time on something, we are already devoting opportunity cost, not only investment cost. If it's only investing money, one can invest in it because you'll make it or lose it, but you will never get your time back. You may get your money back in some other project, but you won't get your time back. You see, like myself, today I have an opportunity to do a very, very large project in a country not too far from here. And it can be very lucrative for me. But I decided not to do it. Because even though I get a huge amount of return, it's going to take away 5 years of my life to achieve that. And at this point, I have better value for my time than going to another country not far from here and repeating what I have done all my life. I'd want to do something new, and I want to do something that I believe in even more. So yes, I think you need to be able to believe in what you're doing, and then you realize money is the easier part to put in. But if you really don't believe in something 100%, of course, you'll be hesitant. Then you would like to ride on two boats at the same time. I want to keep this in hand and also try that. That's when things fail for sure.
But what do you do when you feel you lose your time? Mm-hmm. Sometimes I feel I'm losing my time.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Align your mission with your time. Is your life aligned with your objectives and purpose?
I think So, yes.
So then the more time you spend achieving your purpose, the more satisfaction you have. So I would actually say review it again, because when you spend time on your purpose, it gives you satisfaction and happiness. And a lot of time we think we are really investing time in what I want, but that may be one stage. Like for example, I want to complete this building, so I'm spending a lot of time with that. But deep down, I may be wanting to have a happy family. That's why I'm building this building, so I can sell this building and make the money and have my children and pay for my kids' education and bring them all together and spend more time with them. So maybe that's what my real purpose is. And this is just a mean to the end, and this is not the end itself.
If I feel I have a happy life, you know when? When I make this, when I speak with you, when I film, when I make films, you know, but in the same time, I also have to make business, be able to create.
Right.
So how can I share my time?
You found your way into business which is successful. That business may not be your own passion, but you only see this business as the means to make money, so that you can do what you really want to do. So in your mind, you have two sections: what you have to do and what you want to do. So your have to do is your existing business, and what you want to do is make films. If somehow, at some stage, you are able to blend the two, where actually your films do sell, if your films do have some IP value, or it is actually getting a lot of followers, which gives you the influence to, be more commercial. That is when your mission is aligned with your purpose, right? So you're doing what you really enjoy doing, and that what you're doing also gives you a lot of financial reward.
What's the difference between mission and the dream?
Okay. So I don't want to repeat myself, but my always comment is, a dream without a plan is just a wish, right? And when you have a mission, that means you have already created your plan and you are on a mission. So you say, where are you going? Say, he's on a mission, because he's already clear on what he wants. So he's crossed the dreaming stage and he's put his dream into a mission.
How can I show you what his mission is?
Okay, so he has a dream, and his dream...
What's your dream?
My dream is to become a millionaire, definitely.
Okay. So that's where a big difference... You see, if I'm your mentor, this is where I would differentiate the first thing. So dream cannot be, can be, but I would not expect you, I would go into deeper discussion, would not be to become a millionaire. Dream is I make a car which does zero carbon emission. I make healthy people, I can give health to 1 million people. Money will follow if you're really good at what you do, right? So becoming a millionaire could mean, buy and sell some food material and buy some tires and sell it in here, and buy some batteries, and there's a better price in Africa, you sell it there. So you could do trading and make money. So in that fitness, what do you see that business to be?
I see a big lack of information in the entire fitness industry, but mostly in the personal trainer ones. So that's why I created this app for giving support to the trainers and for the final clients. It's one of my projects. But I had.
What does this app do to people?
Helps them by giving them feedback continuously. So it's like having your coach with you.
And what does that do to a person?
It will help increasing their health, the lifestyle, and be more conscious of what they do and how much do they do and what should they do in different situations when in the gym and this.
So it improves the health and the wellness of people who download that, right?
Exactly.
So maybe if you think deeper, your dream is to democratize the health and wellness so it can reach out to more people, millions of people who can't afford a personal trainer using the app. Could that be your dream?
Yes, that's one of my dreams in the fitness area. The other one is to be a mentor to try to help the other trainers. We are working together on a platform on this, and I will try to give all my knowledge, all my information that I had in the last 15 years, because I travel a lot. I was in the United States when I was just 20, to learn from the best. So I would like to do the same, firstly, for my people, for our people, for the Romania country, and to give a lot of this information and try to make them become better personal trainers.
Okay.
That's
So I agree. So very clear. So if you focus on that as a dream, and if you're the best in doing that, guaranteed there's going to be a huge financial return. So you're achieving your dream most of the time also leads to financial gains. So you need to align that your dreams are aligned with your overall objective. Like for example, when I talk about my businesses, and for me, I have evolved in such a way where I feel launching a new business, devoting myself and making it a success becomes my dream when I'm doing that, right? But I want to make sure that every business I do are focused with triple bottom line: economic, social, and environmental impact, right? So you need to make sure you keep an eye on your economic returns, but your dream will have a great social impact and will have no harm to environment, right? As a matter of fact, you will be able to train a lot of people remotely. So you'll be able to pass on information to more people more sustainably. So while you're looking at it, yes, I agree. Dreams can definitely be made into a plan, but when you're looking at a dream, look at a bigger picture. So dream may not, the best dream may not be making money. So I would just ask you to go back to the drawing board
I see.
and draw your dream.
I see. So you believe that the fact that I'm too focused on the money and not enough focus on the dream, that's why I'm continuing stopping.
That could be one of the reasons, because if you're passionate about doing something, while being wise, I'm not at all telling you to lose your focus on returns, right? But the dream is your dream. Let your dream be a very big dream. Dream should be so big that it should scare you.
What's the difference between millionaires and billionaires?
So I'll tell you the difference between great people and not so great people, right?
Okay.
Because for me, my barometer is the quality of a human being. Now that quality of human being could be a millionaire, billionaire, or maybe nothing here, right? But you can have a A-grade person not having much money. And then you can have B or C-grade person having a lot of money, right? So millionaire, billionaire, as we know, the scientific or the mathematical difference is $1,000 million is a billion, and less than $1,000 million from 1 million upward is a million, right? So a millionaire and billionaire. But practically, we need to see the greatness of a human being and not the Forbes list of billionaires or the Fortune list of billionaires, because I think the world went all towards trying to be so materialistic that their ranking and respect started to come from how much money this guy has. Oh, he's just $700 million, but that guy has $2 billion. But did you know how did this $2 billion guy made his $2 billion? Or how good is he to his own family and friends? Or what does he do with his money? Sometimes you will find a millionaire doing far better with his money than a billionaire. So for me, your question can be answered mathematically by saying anything above $1,000 million makes a billionaire, so that's a difference. Anything less than that, above $1 million, makes it a millionaire. That's a short answer, but a longer answer is, I think we should look at the quality of people and greatness of people rather than ranking them on billionaires.
When I tell to a poor man, for example, or to a hungry man, be great, he will tell me, I need money to be great.
No. You see, I know a lot of friends and family members who are really more beautiful people than some of my billionaire friends. If somebody can offer you a meal, and I remember going to one of our relatives in Quetta, and I know that relative, her husband was a truck driver, and in Europe, truck driver still gets me money. In Pakistan, they don't. But the meal I had in their house, I still remember, even though I was just 10 years old when I went there. Because they had such a big heart. They were so happy when we arrived. When we sat there, the guy was an honest, hardworking, honest person, being a good father. So, you really don't have to have that kind of money to be a great person.
Can money be bad?
Human beings can be bad, and again, depends on what they think of the money, how they use their money. Money itself is not bad. Money itself can buy a lot of good things and can do a lot of good. And I know a lot of people doing a lot of good with their money. But saying that, if you use some tool, and money is just another tool, to do something bad, you don't blame the tool, you blame the person who used the tool. So people can be bad or good, but I think money is just a tool.
Why do people hate millionaires or billionaires?
Because not having empathy with the rest of the population, to over-flaunt your wealth, to live so ostentatiously that you forget your respect for humanity, you forget your respect for the earth, and the only focus you have is try to grab more and more, and to display your wealth in such a vulgar manner that you earn hate of people rather than love of people. I am blessed to have been involved with philanthropy since a very young age, and I started my philanthropy at the age of 18. I started giving blood, moved on to doing different things, including making schools and healthcare institutions, etc., supporting them. Till such time that I learned more about collective force in philanthropy by doing something substantial with the help of everybody and the power of collective force. And that's when we started to look at bigger picture of things. About 10-12 years ago, I started working on modern day slavery. And modern day slavery at that time was not clearly defined. I worked with a very dear friend on launching the Global Slavery Index. We worked towards getting a joint declaration against slavery. We worked together in getting UN to include ending slavery in the Sustainable Development Goals. And after that, we launched the Global Sustainability Network, which is part of the UN Sustainability Development Goals. And there are 17 goals, for those of you who don't know. Goal number 8 is about sustainable economic development, job creation and youth employment, and ending modern day slavery. When you create jobs by being an entrepreneur, like you're doing already, you provide more opportunities for job for the youth. So goal 8.5, 8.6 is about youth unemployment and equal pay for equal work and more jobs. When you provide more jobs, less and less people will go into slavery. Less people will bite the bait for going into being human trafficked, etc. because you have so many good jobs available. So all of these goals have been put into UN SDG goal number 8, and our foundation called Global Sustainability Network is focused on achieving goal 8 by 2030.
Why providing more jobs doesn't make you a good person? For example, in my country, if I provide more jobs, it doesn't make me, I don't know, a good entrepreneur.
Really?
Really.
That said, I think we need to have more interviews with people of your country, because I think all over the world, the biggest focus of almost every single government of the world is to create more jobs. Right? And when your job numbers go down, you see what happens in the stock exchange in US. The ratings of the president goes down. So job numbers are very much linked with the country's prosperity. So it's a shame that it's not fully appreciated, but I think that's one of the most amazing things you do, is to be able to create so many jobs. And how many jobs do you have right now?
1,000 people.
1,000 people.
Yes.
And at such a young age,
Yes.
you've created 1,000 jobs. You're spending millions
Yes,
on
of
jobs
course, of course, yes.
at their cost. And so it's a huge amount of money that you are not only paying to individuals, but also are able to feed their families
Of course.
and their ambitions.
Okay, let's go back to mentoring.
That's a good point.
Yes.
So when we started mentoring, right, we started talking about typical mentoring is one-on-one mentoring physically, face-to-face, like you guys are able to do. Second kind of mentoring is distance mentoring, right? So that I could probably do with Stefan on a Zoom call and talk to him and have a discussion about what are the things that he could be doing, what are my thoughts on it. And then there is one-to-group mentoring. So I could actually call for a group and mentor the entire group together. So these are the three major kinds of mentoring. Then you talk about reverse mentoring. Reverse mentoring, actually, Jack Welch is the guy who's given the credit for reverse mentoring. When he started in his company, the formula for senior executive to be attached with a junior executive to learn from them that what are the things they are looking at, what are the things they are thinking. So the senior management also gets to understand where is the company heading, what are the geniuses in our company doing. That's how the reverse mentoring concept started. I've recently started adopting that since last year because I need reverse mentoring. I don't know anything in blockchain, in NFTs, in security tokens or utility tokens or metaverse, or if you talk about the mixed reality, augmented reality. There's so much going on in the world that unfortunately people of my generation are not the experts. I find these amazing, smart, intelligent people in their 20s who know more than most of the people. So I find an opportunity to meet with them and to sit with them and spend about 3 hours or so in an evening to learn from them how these things work. I'm also trying to understand the future consumer behavior. When I talk to a larger number of people, I learn that a lot of youth are not looking at owning cars. The majority of the youth are moving more towards shared economy. Right? In our generation, it was very, very fashionable to have your house and then own an apartment in every city or every major city that you go to. And now people are thinking differently. They don't need to own that asset. They are more a consumer economy now. So different things, and I'm continuing to learn. So I think reverse mentoring today has become more important than ever before.
Do you love to continue educate yourself?
Absolutely. I think,
But you are so rich. Why do you do it?
no, first of all, I'm not that rich. That I just wanted to clarify.
Want to be richer?
But it is not only for money that you do reverse mentoring or you continue to learn. I have big ambitions, and I've just started a healthcare company which I want to expand, and I want to go into many countries. But I don't know how to do so many things. We are going to be the first one to use holographic teleconsultation between developed countries and developing world. Use holograms to do medical procedures. We're probably going to be the first one to adopt mixed reality very soon in increasing the home care services. We are trying to use facial recognition and machine learning on interviews for nurses, and we are working on game to train, on creating gaming to train people in different skill sets. So we want to do a lot of things. I have big ambitions, and I really don't know all these things. I need to learn to be able to do something.
Can you predict the future economical?
I cannot predict the future of economy, but I would definitely rate one of the books to be one of the best books to look at it. And I think Yuval Noah Harari has got a book, 21 Lessons of the 21st Century. I definitely think it's a book to look at. But looking at the future, definitely a few things I think we may be heading towards. The adoption of virtual reality and the virtual world definitely has a very strong place, and the experiences may not need to be physical, but virtual experiences can be quite satisfying. So I think virtual reality is something serious to look at. I can clearly see that there's such a huge gap in ease of payment. And the problems related to payment and exchanging money, that people keep coming up with new fintech projects, and there is a huge demand for it. So most of the fintechs are really doing well. And when they get into action, I think the way the money moves is going to change drastically. Cryptocurrency, again, it's trying to find its legitimacy. And it's in the early days when internet could not be controlled. It wasn't too long ago, and one of the world's largest and most reputed medical institution in America did not accept emails. I think I'm talking about 6 years ago. They said, no, it's not a legal document, we need a fax. So the interns at that company used to come and see 40, 50 fax machines because they had to send so many medical health records to the hospital all the time, and they could only receive fax. So I think the development will happen in cryptocurrency, acceptance of the world and understanding how the countries can manage and control these currencies, how to make sure the bad guys don't trade on these currencies. So there's a lot of legality behind it, but it will take shape. So fintech is going to change the world. The metaverse is going to change the world. The way we have our healthcare is going to change drastically. But I think the mental health is going to be another problem to look at.
Don't you think we can lose our minds in virtual life?
Lose our minds.
Become crazy.
Depression, the amount of depression can increase drastically. We are addicted to our phones, and the way phones are made are such a way that you do get addicted to them. So when you get a message, it's some kind of dopamine that's released. If you don't get a message for all day, it's going to depress you, because you do need this addiction to be fulfilled. Check all the time. So I think many things will happen. Like example I'll give you, why the giraffe has such a long neck. is because the animal could not find the food. It had to stretch its neck because it eats the top of the tree. So, it has a very long neck as you go. And the shape of the human being changes in generations based on how we use our body. You probably know better than that. So I think looking like this is going to have an impact on the way our neck and our spinal problems evolve. Because I think a lot of us are already having this problem.
Yeah, we have.
So these are some of the future things we can see, good and bad, coming up.
Would you invest in crypto?
I would invest in metaverse, for sure. I would invest in virtual reality a lot more. I will invest in mixed reality, augmented reality. I would be very averse, I would be very careful and cautious to go deep into crypto. I will just invest in it to avoid FOMO. You know FOMO? It's fear of missing out. So I could just have 1 or 2%.
I suffer of FOMO when we speak about crypto.
Yeah, exactly. So just put in a bit of
Why am I
money.
afraid about this? As long as I am a businessman, I am afraid of crypto. I don't believe in crypto. I don't know why.
Just put in 1% of your wealth or something. So you can say, me too, I did this too, So if somebody's talking big on a dinner table.
My operator, who also is my friend, is investor in crypto.
Yeah.
Don't you have questions? I want to make you. I want to make you a star.
He's already made the money, so
But what about NFT?
There's a lot of excitement around it. I still haven't seen much substance around it. So, but there's such a huge buzz that sometimes it just ends up lifting the whole thing. How sustainable it is, I don't know yet. But maybe on the way it becomes sustainable, it's a different story. But currently, I don't see it very sustainable.
Don't you think the schools will disappear in the future?
There's a very strong chance of the education system is going to change. And the way education system can change is people not going there physically. But online schools and universities are just becoming as popular, and they are just as real. So I think learning and education is not going to change, but the methods of education and the physical institutions may change.
What are your provision in terms of business about all the healthcare, fitness and wellness here in Dubai?
This is an industry which is really encouraged all the way from the top. The Crown Prince of Dubai holds a 1-month challenge for 30 days for 30 minutes workout and gives rewards, and they are involved themselves in health and fitness. You find them running in the marathon himself. And just imagine the Crown Prince of a country is so deeply involved. So it comes from the top. Health and fitness is appreciated all the way to the top. And the Crown Prince in Abu Dhabi, he himself does jiu-jitsu and he's again fit as a fiddle. So you see a lot of people in the royal family are very fit, and the government are very fit, and the society are very, very fit. So I see it's a great opportunity when there is so much commitment to health and fitness. The scope will be great. But you must understand the size of the market, because the size of the market makes a very big difference on your business. So you must take into consideration the total size of the market you are catering to.
Raza, in the end of this dialogue, I want to thank to Christina Jantea, who connected us, but she's not here. And the last question, did you like Romania?
Oh my God, I went there end of October. It's probably the best time of the year to go there. I had such a warm welcome from dear friends, and the place was so wonderful. And again, I should also thank Christina Jantea for all the effort and the time that was spent with me and showing me around and introducing me to her friends. I really want to thank all my friends and family that I left behind. And we have already started doing some work in Romania with hopefully big ambitions to work with people of Romania over here.
You think Romania is a good market to invest?
I did not really evaluate from the investment point of view. I saw it from the talent point of view, and I saw great talent which we could deploy and partner with to build some amazing stuff. But Romania, I was on a very short trip, so I didn't really have a detailed opportunity from the investment point of view.
Raza, next time I invite you in Suceava to visit Bucovina, the most beautiful place in the world.
I would love to do that, and I remember that I was being invited to Cluj, but you made sure that you come to Suceava first, so my promise to you.
Okay.
Before I go there, I'll definitely come to Suceava.